When are you going to allow God to be God on your behalf? And are you the holdup? What's up, family? What's happening? What's happening? It's Thursday. Time to get a little sharper. Welcome to the Anti-Negativity Network. And yeah, we back here to do it again. Be having a good Thursday. Yeah, just as always, excited to be here again. And also excited because I got my wife on here with me as well. So, what's up, babe?
Welcome.
Hey,
Nothing.
hey,
All right.
you, you good?
Yes.
All right,
Mhm.
all right. So, yeah, so we back here again. It's another Thursday back here to make it do what it do. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get them three breaths out of the way because I personally need them. I need them myself right now. Okay, so let's do this. Ready? One, two, three. One, two, three. One more time. One, two, three. All right. There we go. There we go. So I needed that because just one of them days, you know how you have them days where you just seem like you just can never catch up. Like it's just not enough time in the day. And so it's one of them days for me. And so much so that I even left my notes. Y'all know I like to keep my little notes to keep me on task so I don't get too far gone. But I forgot it. So y'all pray for me. So I gotta do this without notes. Okay? So, babe, you got anything?
No. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. So we back in chapter 43 of Genesis again, and last week we talked about where uh, the famine was going so bad. I mean, and we knew that this famine was going to be very severe because that's what was spoken about at the very beginning, and that's what's actually happened. And so uh, Jacob slash Israel, and his sons, they got down to the nitty gritty. They've gotten down to the nitty gritty, and they have used up all that they've had. So now they're forced to have to go back to Egypt and get some more grain so that everybody can eat. So they won't die of starvation. And so but um, one of the sons, Judah, reminded him of what Joseph said, even though they don't realize it's Joseph. But he reminded Jacob of what Joseph said, as they said in the Bible. The what is Pharaoh? They represent. He to the man that was representing Pharaoh. Okay, Pharaoh's representative told them specifically, "Do not come back unless you have Benjamin." Okay, the youngest son, and I think it was pretty interesting that Jacob asked him, "Well, why you ain't just lied to him and tell him? Why you ain't just lied to him and tell him, that we don't have one, right?" And just imagine had they lied to Joseph and not answer his question correctly, because he asked him, "Do you have another brother?" And of course, they went on to tell him, "Yes, we do." And his name is Benjamin. I don't know if they actually said his name, but they did say that he had a younger brother. And so they decided. He told them, "Okay, well, because he letting them know he thought they were spies and trying to, come in and try to figure out how to get some of the land that's there." And he just thought there was, well, oh, even though he knew what it was, but he was acting like they were there doing something they ain't had no business doing. So, and so he you know held one of the brothers for ransom, and the fact that they have to bring Benjamin back if they come back. And so now we're at that point now where it's time for the rubber to meet the road. Okay, y'all can see I'm outside here, and the bugs are just having a good time right now. But but now we're at this point now because you know they have no other choice but to go back to Egypt because that's the only place they can go get the grain that they need so they can feed everybody. Hey, Mama JP. And so here we are. Here we are. And I posed the question, are you the holdup? That was my first question. Are you the holdup? And the reason why I asked that question is because Judah even stated to Jacob, hey, had you allowed us to take Benjamin with us, we would have already gone and came back. We would have already gone to Egypt and been back had you allowed us to take Benjamin the first time. I mean, a while ago. I shouldn't say the first time, a while ago.
I thought it was
right.
interesting how initially when Jacob asked the brothers to go, how Jacob was, like, don't just sit around, be proactive, do something, or starve to death.
Yeah.
And now it seems reverse, where the sons are like, hey, want to go back. You're the holdup here. We're going to starve to death if you don't go back, and we have to take Benjamin. So it's kind of opposite now. Jacob is dragging his feet. I wonder if it's because the sons.
I missed that part, but I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if it's because the sons had already been there, so they kind of have experience now.
Right.
And, and know what to expect, kind of, sort of.
Right. Right.
But
even though they're still cautious, they're still cautious because they're still not sure how Joseph is going to deal with them. Okay. Because they still feeling some kind of way, because remember, they done came back with the grain and they came back with the money that they supposed to have used to buy the grain. So they're not sure what really what happened here, where we go there to buy grain, we give them the money, and when we come back, we realize they done put the money back in the bag with the grain. So now they still a little perplexed themselves. But to your point, you're right. They did have experience of going there, so they have some expectation of what they're going to, what's going to take place, and having actually been in the presence of Joseph and talked with Joseph, and body language matters a lot. So I know a lot of times we like to have these conversations through text messages and emails, but sometimes direct conversation, your body mannerisms, the facial expressions, the way your voice sounds when you say it, all of those, I can't remember the words, what they call it, indirect clues. I don't know, what I'm saying, but a lot of times that type of interaction with someone can make you feel a certain type of way when you have to go back. That makes sense what I'm saying? So, yeah. So to your point, like say, they kind of had an expectation of what to expect. Did I say that right? They kind of had in the back of their mind, they already thinking how it may go based upon the interaction that they had previously with Joseph. And so, but of course, their father, Jacob, he didn't have that. Okay, and like you said, that whole thing flipped around, so it is pretty interesting now. And so now he's the holdup. He's the holdup. And so why is he the holdup? Again, because he's feeling some type of way about sending Benjamin, because he does not want to lose Benjamin, because in his mind, I've already lost Reuben. Okay, who's not Reuben. Reuben. That's because he Joseph kept Reuben, and in his mind, he's already lost Joseph. Okay, none of them realize that they're dealing with Joseph, and that this is Joseph that's setting his table like this. But in his mind, so he doesn't want to lose Benjamin, because that's his last child by his first love, by his heart, right? So this is where we at now. So, and I asked the question, are you the holdup? I just want you to think about that in your own life, in your own situation, because sometimes, fear can grip us and keep us from moving, keep us from doing, keep us from going forward. But then we actually get to the point, like in this situation right here, he had no choice, because either send Benjamin with the brothers or die. And not only he died, but everybody else died, because they're not going to eat, which means they're going to die of starvation. So sometimes situation forces you to have to make a move. And this this is where they at. So they're forced to make a move. Babe, you got anything?
I just wanted to correct you. I think it was Joseph had kept Simeon.
Simeon. I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. Thank you. I got the wrong names. Not Reuben. It was Simeon. You're absolutely right. Simeon. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you. So now it's gotten to that point is crucial. You know, that stomach started talking to you. You start making some kind of moves now. That stomach talk to you enough. You get desperate enough, you'll go ahead and make that move. And that's exactly what happened right here. And so they go on, they finally make the trip. But I think it's also important to understand this too. So, and I was just trying to think of an example. But can you imagine some place there that's the only place you can go to get this one item? So whatever it is, just think of something that there's only one place you can go to get it. And say, for instance, you went and got this one thing this one time, one particular time, and then, you know, when you get back home and open up your package and realize, or you look at your statement or whatever, and you realize they didn't charge you for it. Now you got to go back again at some point to get it again, okay? Because this is the only place you can go. What would you do? Would you call them and tell them that they made a mistake and give you that money back, or would you just oops, sorry?
Good question.
Come on,
Good question.
huh?
Good question.
Let's be real about it. Let's be real. Now think about this is the only place you can go to get what it is you need. You won't get that money back because chances are they might not forget what took place. So reason why I've raised that point is because in this story right here, before they left, Jacob made sure that they took some stuff, they took some things, they took some gifts. And not only did they take the money that they were supposed to spend the first time they went, but they took more money. They doubled the money. They took double the amount of money. Okay, they took a double amount of money to make sure that when they got there, they could pay for what they already had, and then pay for more for what they need. And on top of that, because of what they did, they also added in some other gifts that kind of sweeten up the pot a little bit. Okay, because you got to understand they're not exactly sure 100% what they're walking into. Even though they had some interaction with Joseph, Joseph did tell them distinctly, make sure you bring your brother back here. If you don't, pretty much, if you don't bring him back here, then all bets off. So they bring him back, okay? But I just want y'all to think about that part right there. You know, you go, this is the only place you can go to get it. And they didn't charge you. Are you going to take that money back along with some more money to get what you need? Or are you going to play dumb? Which one you going to do? All right. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm gonna leave you with your thoughts on that one right there. But so they get on. They finally get to Egypt. And man, so they get there, okay. And Joseph sees them and see that they have Benjamin. So now he tells his servant to, hey, go ahead and get them set up. We're gonna have a meal together, okay? Bring them to my house. We're gonna have a meal together. Go, just do what you do, okay? We're gonna eat good tonight, okay? All right, and that's so. But the brothers, when they got there, and the servant tells them what's gonna go down, that is really messing them up even more now. They were already messed up from the beginning, from the first time around, and the money being returned, everything. So then they get back thinking that all they're gonna do is just, you know, let them see Benjamin. They'll be able to get their brother back. They come back with Benjamin, pay for their grain, and pay for the grain that they had the last time, and everything will be clear, and then we can just go on back and everything good, right? They weren't expecting to be going to Joseph's house and gonna have to sit down and break bread together and have a good old meal. They wasn't expecting that. So now in the back of their mind, they thinking, oh man, this is about to go, this is getting deeper. Like he really going to do something to us, because they still thinking that something, from what they did to Joseph is still haunting them. It's still like a black cloud over their head. And then on the flip side, you got Joseph, who's like finally seeing his brother Benjamin for the first time in a long, long time. And as you read the scripture, it talked about how he got overcome with emotions, right? And so I got to think about this situation right here. Baby, maybe you can help me a little bit on this one. But have you, we've been married for a couple years now. How many times you and I have been in the same place, looking at the same thing in the same environment, but we looking at it in two totally different ways?
Yeah, that happens all the time.
Right? So that's exactly what's happening right here, because Joseph is actually, I would say, somewhat excited because he's now in the presence of his brother Benjamin, but he also got to hold his peace, keep himself together, can't blow his cover because of the position that he's in. He can't expose himself yet. But then the brothers in this situation, about to sit down and break bread, get some good eating, they still feeling like, uh-oh, what's about to happen? Are we about to really pay the penalty for what we did to Joseph? Because they weren't expecting this. So one of my questions I asked from the beginning, when are you going to allow God to be God on your behalf? Because see, that's really what's happening in this whole situation right here. Because yes, the brothers did some dirt and try to call it clean when it came to Joseph. And that guilt is really doing a number on them. It really is. While Joseph, on the flip side, is trying to hold it together because he can't blow his cover yet because of the position that he's in, trying to play his cards the right way. That makes sense what I'm saying so far? So what you see here is God is actually merging this thing together. Sometimes some things in our life are going to take place that we just simply not going to understand how it's happening, why it's happening, when it's happening. Scripture says his ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. And this is an example right here in chapter 43, where there's so many things going on in the mind, behind the scenes, thoughts known, thoughts not known. But it's all working together. And we're going to learn more about it later on as we get more into further along down in Genesis. But right now, just think about what's happening. That's why I want you to always tell you to read it for yourself, because you got to just get into this to get the understanding and just kind of feel the dynamics that are taking place. And as we're able to read this, we can see God behind the scenes. I ain't gonna say behind the scenes, he is the scene. But God is just working it out. But he's also trying to get them to a point of repentance, so to speak. And then having Joseph have to be merciful, forgiving. So I see some forgiveness about to take place, or actually beginning to take place, because they know what they did to Joseph. And now they're feeling the effects of that in their mind, because they're really not sure what is going on, what is happening. And as you read on to the end of it, I think it was two interesting things at the end. One, I'm gonna go to the very end, where it talked about, when they sat down to eat, it was based upon rank. Like Joseph was served first, and then it went on down the line, and then the brothers were actually fed in order of age, right? And at the end, they was beginning to wonder, like, how does this man know this much about us? They were beginning to wonder. They were getting the question in their mind, how does he know this much about us? This is what the brothers are thinking. Okay? Because evidently they didn't really speak or say anything. It was just already done. So how did Joseph or his servants know about the brothers in order in order of serving them? So the dynamics. So man, God, I know what I'm feeling and what I want to say, and I'm hoping.
Yeah,
Come on,
I
man.
just wanted to say when you were talking about how God is working in this,
Yeah.
the manager said to the brothers,
Mm-hmm.
relax, don't be afraid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Your
Thank you. Thank you.
God, the God of your father. So he's referring to, the God of,
Thank you.
Abraham,
Thank you.
Isaac, Jacob, the God of your father.
Yeah.
Put this treasure into your sacks.
Yeah.
So even I'm assuming he's an Egyptian. Even he knows
Mm-hmm.
that God is in this,
Yes.
working in
Yes.
this moment that, it's just
Yep.
recognizing a God moment.
There it is. Thank you. See?
Oh.
See, I ain't have my notes with me, and that's the reason why you on here with me, baby. There it is. See, he always works it out. Even on this, on Thursdays at 6:30, he be working it out. Because I read it and I totally forgot it. Thank you. And that helped bring the, hopefully y'all understood exactly. See, yeah, thank you, baby. Thank you. Because that's it right there. That's it. And so there was some confirmation given to them. Chill. He got you. Everything good. Everything is good. Okay. And then the one other point, and we're gonna go ahead and close out, and this will probably lead into some other stuff later on. But that was I thought it was pretty interesting. Remember we talked about this, baby. But I want to read this right here. So the servant served Joseph by himself in honor of his rank, and his brothers by themselves, and the Egyptians who ate with him by themselves, because according to custom, the Egyptians could not eat food with the Hebrews, for that is loathsome to the Egyptians. I thought that was pretty interesting because don't they realize that's a Hebrew they have that's second in command? Joseph is one of those brothers, but the Egyptians don't even realize that. So, again, God be doing some stuff. He be making some things happen, and we don't even realize it. Sometimes we never realize it. Sometimes we realize it way later. In this situation, these Egyptians don't even realize that they have a Hebrew that's actually second in command.
Well, I think they do realize it. They know that.
How do they know that?
They know that Joseph, because they didn't eat with Joseph. They didn't sit. Joseph didn't sit at the table with them, so they know Joseph is a Israelite or Hebrew. And so it was 3 separate tables. It was table for Joseph by himself, right, because he was high rank, and because he was a Hebrew. Then it was for his brothers, and then the Egyptians ate at a table. So it was 3 separate tables. It wasn't 2.
Take it. Okay. And see, this is one of the beautiful things, one of the things about the Bible, that like I didn't take it as, I took it because of his rank is why he was by himself. Didn't have anything to do with who he was. I mean, per se, his rank, his position is the reason why he said by. That's the way I interpret it. Okay. But hey, hey.
Well, you said things different, right?
It goes right back to what we've been saying, right? Sometimes we can read this word and get a different interpretation. But the bottom line is, God is still in the midst of it. So when are we going to allow God to be God on our behalf? And they starting to happen right here. Oh, he said starting to begin to realize it. God is in the midst of it. Let God do what he do for you, okay? Let him do what he do. Because he's working it out. You're not going to always understand it. It's not going to always just make sense, okay? But just know that he's in the midst. He's working it out on your behalf. So just let him be who he is. And that's simply be God. All right?
All right.
That's all I got, baby. You got anything else?
Oh, that's it.
That's it right there.
Right.
So we're going to close out with that right there. Let God be God on your behalf. All right? All right, family. We out of here. We're going to see you next week, Lord willing. 6:30. We'll be back here to make it do what it do. So, as I always tell you, pray, plan, prepare, proceed. Go make it do what it do. We're going to see you next week at 6:30. Love you.
Love you.